Hey guys, Sensei George here. Today I'm going to be going over a technique that was covered by Akban's Sharif, in which he's using a chain versus boxing technique. First we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, so what you saw there is that he's using a chain to go ahead and block a few of the boxer's punches, go into a neck throw, and cast his opponent to the side. Now, there was a little bit of backlash about this technique in which, oh, that technique won't work against a boxer. Well, sometimes it's the way that it's done or the way that it's presented. But first, I'm going to go ahead and debunk this and show you guys how it would work against a boxer and show you some variations that may be more fitting for your fighting style. So first we have to go over what the weapon is. It's a kusari fundo. It's a chain weapon. It has two weights on the end and a chain about an arm's length through here. It is actually a mid-range weapon in which you can go ahead and use it for whipping, but you can also use it for close striking in case of what's going on. So first we're going to go ahead and mirror the technique for what he did and then break down what was going on. So in the technique, he first came out with a jab and I had my weapon out. So when he came in with that jab, I came across and I hit to the wrist on the inside to blast that to the side. And when he comes in for that cross punch, I step off line, I strike that, step in with an elbow, and using my left hand, wrap around the head and throw by his neck onto the ground. So that is the technique that was covered. Now, while I like that, there are a few things that I would do different. So first and foremost is when that first punch comes in, I want to actually meet the punch and let the chain bash the knuckles or break the hand. And if he still has the audacity to strike after that first punch and me damaging his hand, I step off line and strike as hard as I can to that as well. Then I follow up with a strike and then reach over and cast away. So that's a really good technique, in my opinion, because you're destroying both of his weapons and coming in with a unarmed strike. And that's really good, and it'll actually get him away from you, in which you can use a ranged weapon again. But going into the neck cast to throw someone away, sometimes it may end up in that position, it may not. So I'm going to give you a few variations, and then I'm actually going to show you how I would use the neck cast that Sharif had displayed. So first, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys see the weapon that I'm working with. The rope kusari fundo shows you techniques so that you can move around and strike and not hurt your opponent as much. Though, be mindful, rope can still hurt in the hands of a ninja. So first, I'm going to go ahead and show you the variation that I would do. And this instance in which he throws that first punch, I jam his knuckles with the first strike. He comes in with the second one. I move off line. I strike in again. From this point, I wrap over in a jump rope fashion over his neck, twist, which locks the rope across his neck, and then throw down full force, freeing that strike. So that's how I would do my neck cast overlap throw, and really locking in there. Now I'm going to show you some distancing variations, because this is a mid-range weapon. Very often, first of all, if he's getting this close where I have to do my strikes, sometimes my taijutsu is not working out where I need it to be. So I done effed up already because I had this long-range weapon, and he somehow got through all that and got me up to here. But you got to be prepared. There are some people that will take risk, or if he had armor on, in which a lot of these weapons were developed for, he's going to try to rush this. If I use my legal rope and self-defense and I use this, he's going to think he can rush this. It'll suck, but he can still rush it. So if he tries to go ahead and do that, I arm myself and ready for these strikes. I can go ahead and use these small circles and crush the hand and come in for him in these different fashions. So that's the first way. Now I'm going to show you my second way, in which how I push him back so I can get some distance. I got two versions for this. So he comes in with this jab cross combo, strike that, comes in again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rock in with all my weight using both the weights, striking into the chest to fling in for the chain strike to actually hit him on the top of the head. So let's do that at a little bit faster speed. Actually throw it in like full boxing force. You got to recoil these hands. 1, 2, and then double strike in to the strike. So just pick up the speed and throw it like you normally do if I was a heavy bag. I'll be light.
Okay.
So same thing. That time I went up a little bit higher to the face to actually hit him underneath the jaw to throw him back before I can hit that. But he is a little bit taller than me. Sometimes this may be elongated out. But if my hand's already up and I can drive both in to the kimon, the parts above the heart on both sides, you can hit the ribs, it'll drive him back, give him that range. The other version which I'm going to do is actually a kick, a push kick to cause my distance, and that'll let me actually jump into the swing. So we'll go through that one once.
Same punch?
Yep. So 1, 2, stomp kick, drive him out, and then fling one more time. So, once more. And that's set. So, in my opinion, Sharif had a very good kata in which he's using the chain with the front hand, and that's what I took for the most part of that video, is how to apply that motion to do 2 consecutive blocks and still leave you open for following up with strikes. Now, the neck wrap. He came forward with a forearm strike and then used the chain to come behind his neck and step and throw. That was really cool. I actually liked it. But in this instance, if I were to strike him and he starts to stumble back, I lose the chance to do this. It's very hard for me to wrap around his neck. So what I had been doing, again, is I strike and I do that jump rope one to get behind his neck. But let's talk about when I can apply the version that Sharif showed from being the left hand from wrapping over. And in these types of instances, if I had my rope versus a chain and the guy tries to rush me because he sees this weapon going and he times his interval. So go ahead and like see this slowly. As it would come over, he would come in with a full body tackle. So one more time, 1, 2, 3, it's here. He came in with that full body tackle, but I got my chain back on me and you see that I have my left hand at the ready. So all I have to do, since my left hand's over, is wrap it that way, step, throw. Same thing. The technique itself, that throw, is as long as my left hand is on this chain and it's above his neck, I can wrap it so that the throw takes place when I twist my body. That is that version of the throw, and I do like it a lot. So you have 2 variations to choose from. One being the jump rope over twist throw now, and then you have the I hit the guy, but my left hand happens to be behind his head. How can I throw him with the chain? Oh, wrap it around, catch. So all in all, I think it was an awesome technique, and I hope Akban keeps it up and keeps pumping out more videos because I enjoy them a lot, and I want you guys to check it out too. If you have any questions or comments about this video, be sure to leave them in below, and thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. どうもありがとうございました。